Hello, it's Phillip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking at a book from Lloyds list. It's part of the Lloyds Shipping Law Library. There we go, you see the spine. It's P&I Clubs, Law and Practice in the 4th edition, and it's edited by Stephen J. Hazelwood and David Semark. Now, what are P&I clubs? That's the big question. Well, if you look at our reviews, you will find out, but I'm going to explain it to you. There's a Flickr review, and P&I stands actually for protection and indemnity. And right at the beginning of the book, after the table of cases and everything else, it gives you an excellent definition, because we have to talk a little bit about history. We start off, it says history and general introduction. What is a P&I club? It's an association of commercial ship owners and charterers and other associated parties which provides protection against a number of risks inherent in industrial ship operation. Very much of an industry, of course, going back many centuries in the case of the United Kingdom. You can see the book is structured in the main way with paragraph numbering at the sides and footnotes, and there is right at the back a good index, and there are of course appendices as well. Let me just show the index at the back. There we go, you've got some idea of it. This is very much of a, I hate to say standard work, but it is very much in line with the house standard of Lloyds, and it's a book which I commend to all of you. My wife Elizabeth and I have written a review of it, and we've given it the title, A Timely Work from Lloyds List for all involved in protection and indemnity insurance. And as I say, we'll go into it in a little bit more detail, because if you're professionally involved in the world of shipping, transport and marine law, whether practitioner, student or academic, you would do well to add this invaluable work of reference to your library if you haven't already done so. The P&I Club may be called a mutual insurance association, mutually insuring ships which belong to their members. I've given you the definition because obviously it's protection and indemnity, and they come about from the old hull clubs which existed some long time ago. Now, as the two authors point out, it was the unsatisfactory state of the marine insurance market roughly towards the end of the 18th, beginning of the 19th century that led to the groups of ship owners associating together to insure their hull risks between themselves on a mutual basis. A lot of money involved, and of course we in this country were leaders in the world at that particular time in this form of industry. So generally, and without going into detail provided by this fascinating book, which will be of interest I think much more generally apart from the detail, these clubs gradually evolved from hull clubs and proliferated to insure members against marine risks not covered by the traditional markets. Also, it seemed that clubs provided less costly for ship owners than insuring through Lloyds or with companies. Not only were these clubs insurance concerns, they were also, to cite the author's quote from Frank Ledwin's Ships That Go Bump in the Night, places where men of the sea pooled their difficulties and where help, both financial or otherwise, was given in sorting things out. Very, very helpful in a whole range of pastoral activities. So from these fraught but rather likeably matey beginnings, modern P&I clubs gradually evolved. Times have changed since then because ships have changed, but the dire necessity of protecting expensive and vulnerable investments hasn't. This book therefore is in the 4th and latest edition and builds on Hazelwood's original text, last revised in 1999, the result of what is rightly described as the Herculean task of writing a standard reference work from scratch on a subject lately ignored by the authors of a text on marine insurance, because you've got a special little home, if you like. The book offers a wealth of information and insight in this specialist subject, including detailed examination of the structure of the P&I clubs and the modern version, the members' duty to sue and labour and the pay-to-be-paid rule, defence cover, and the P&I club reinsurance, to name only a few examples. It's a scholarly and readable work, and you'll find what you expect to get from it. Obviously, they're very useful research tools as well. Obviously, extensive tables and so forth, and as I've indicated, the index is very useful. You've also got something that might be worth considering. Following Semark's comment in the preface that the financial crisis of 2008-9 had led to a new interest in the benefits of mutualism, the time to acquire this book is now, especially with the growing awareness on the part of regulatory authorities of the important role played by P&I clubs. And as I say, I think it's obviously detailed, it's very important for those involved, but it's a fascinating insight as well into a much wider field. So thank you very much to Lloyds List and Informer, and to both Hazelwood and Semark for an excellent publication. Bye bye.